ナードホールズ、ケイレブとウィル、ドラゴンボールを視聴。
All right, welcome to another episode of the Nerd Holes Rewatch Dragon Ball from the beginning. So, if this is your first video, the thing that we do here is every month Will and I talk about Dragon Ball. So, Will is kind of like he has seen a few episodes of Dragon Ball Z. Never really gone and watched all of it in order. So, that's what we're doing. We're going in order from the very beginning. There's a whole playlist now. I made a whole podcast playlist for the Dragon Ball stuff. So there is, oh man, I think there's 10 altogether. I think this is number 11, which makes next month our 1 year anniversary. So isn't that crazy? That it's been a year
Yeah. I don't,
shortly here that we've done.
did we do, was it
We
May?
started. It's not a year to the date next month, but it is our 12th month.
Let me,
Yeah,
I can't remember. I just don't remember if we did it in June or May. I felt like it was June, but I guess we started it in May.
but I think last year was a leap year. Whatever that has to do with anything. People just throw that term around, like, oh, it's a leap
Ah,
year. Like, oh yes, of course.
oh,
It's like,
yes.
doesn't that mean that there's just like one extra day in a month? I don't know.
Yeah. Dragons.
Plus, our stuff is a little. Well, no, because we record and put the video out in the same month. So, but I don't think we did it first.
Yeah,
I feel like
June 4th was our first.
okay. But I think we watched and maybe talked about it in May, and then I put the video out in June.
Well, June
So
4th is when we talked about it, and then you probably put it out in the middle of June.
I think I've been hitting the 19th. Well, then, except for that 1 month where I forgot it wasn't the 19th somehow.
Yeah, but it was like 2 days earlier or something.
Yeah, it was like the 14th, and I was like, I don't think I usually put it out on the 14th. Oh well,
Oh, well.
doesn't matter. Yeah, doesn't matter. Uh, and the other milestone we're going to hit is next month. Our first episode that we talk about next month is going to be the exact middle.
The exact middle.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy because I'm looking at the list here. So there's 9, what they consider to be 9 seasons.
Okay.
And we're in season 6. And we're just hitting the halfway point. So in these last 3 seasons, we're gonna be watching lots of episodes.
Lots and lots of episodes.
Yeah. So anyway, this month we are getting into the Baba saga, 1987. So I think originally we were going to stop at 75, right? Wasn't that what we were doing?
Sounds right-ish. Yeah.
So after watching, we decided to also cover 76. It just felt like a better place to leave off the halfway mark to
Yeah.
me. And the back half of the season, you'll be happy to know, is really, 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 really
Bad.
crazy. Yeah. It's like it's weird. Yeah, it gets weird. There's like 2 episodes after this that are like really important. And then yeah, the rest of it is just kind of like this side story. And then next season is 3 years later. So
Wow. Okay.
so like 4 episodes happen and it's like, That was crazy. Anyway, it's been 4 years since they've collected the Dragon Balls.
Wow.
What's Emperor Pilaf doing? Who knows? Not being an emperor. Uh,
He's dead.
he's dead. Chow ate him. Okay, so let us just give this kind of quick rundown here. So, episode 69 is where we started. It
Yep.
is who is fortune teller Baba? So, everybody goes and they meet Baba on her little island thing.
Wow.
So, that was cool.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, what was the thing? So, they agree to fight in her tournament instead of paying the money for her
Yeah.
service.
Yeah, because she wants like
10 million
what so
zenny.
much money.
Yeah. I think their money system is the same as ours, but it's just
Zenny.
Zenny. Yeah, it's pretty funny that it's called Zenny.
Sounds like what you would call an MMO, like in-game currency that you have to
Hmm.
have to, but in order to get it, you have to use real world money.
Yeah, Zoobles. We call them Zoobles, but they cost $5 a piece,
Yeah, right. Exactly.
and they work like dollars. Like, oh,
It's like,
that's
well,
fair.
do you want Goku when he goes Super Saiyan to turn pink? Well, that's $5.
Like, yeah, I do. That'll be 5 Z-bucks, please.
Yeah, right.
V-bucks.
Exactly.
Oh man. All right, so then episode 7, we are the 5 warriors.
We are
Uh,
my warriors. We.
so this is the one where um Krillin fights Fang.
Yeah.
That was a pretty funny fight, right? It's
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Krillin. It was cool having like the boys back in these episodes, like,
Yeah. Like them taking on the guys. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they also like went, on that adventure together to go see Baba, like just the 4 of them.
Yeah.
Or the yeah, well, 5
Yeah. Because
technically.
Poir was with him. Yeah.
Yeah. I like how they asked uh Oolong and he's
Oolong.
like, I'm not going
That's
anywhere near that.
insane. Why would you ask me that?
Oh man, it's pretty good, pretty good.
Oh, and Upa.
So
Upa goes too. They get
Upa's
Upa.
there. Yeah. Yeah, he picks up Upa, which is cool. It's cool having Upa there.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's see. So Krillin fights the guy. Um,
Upa. Upa.
yeah, it's this funny thing, right? Where they keep doing this thing where they're like, "Oh, we can't get involved in the fight,"
Oh yeah. Then
but
immediately,
they keep getting involved in the fight,
constantly.
like the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in this, right, technically like Krillin is out, so then Yamcha has to step in and fight.
Yeah. I can't remember when Upa and Poir like step in though. They might. I think
So
they step in to like distract or something or stand up for somebody. I think it's
Poir
Krillin.
Poir jumps in this episode. Yeah. Okay, no, no, no. So here's how it goes. Wow. It's like I just watched these, but I'm like blanking. So Krillin fights Fang, Krillin gets knocked out, then
Yeah.
Upa and Poir decide to fight him together.
Yes.
So that's totally fine. So they fight him together. I don't know where Upa ate a bunch of garlic or whatever, but
Yeah. Who knows?
but then Poir turns into a porcupine,
Yeah.
stabs him, and then he turns into that hand and slaps him into the water. So
Yeah.
wrings him out basically. So that
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. But there's a couple other instances though, like that for sure they like step in and they're like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. But then Yamcha has to fight the Invisible Man.
Yep.
So we're doing we're doing we're doing Hollywood monsters. They're fighting Hollywood monsters in this episode.
Yeah, pretty much.
I
Yeah.
thought that was pretty funny. I was waiting for the Wolf Man, but got the Wolf Man.
No, they're gonna. I didn't. I always expected like Android 8 to show up to
Yeah.
represent Frankenstein's monster, but
Wouldn't that be
nope.
funny if he was there?
Yeah, I thought he was going to be.
And he's just like, "Oh, I remember you guys." He just jumps in the water. So episode 71 is called A Deadly Battle. So
Yep.
Goku has to go back and get Roshi and Bulma.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
While Yamcha fights the Invisible Man, which is it's a cool fight. He's like actually like listening to his footsteps and stuff. I thought
Yeah,
that
and you
was
see the
really fun.
grass, like yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Yamcha gets to use the Wolfang Fist. That's his only move, apparently, you know.
Wolfgang fast.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. That was a pretty cool fight, I thought.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's goofy.
Yeah.
And then as episode ends with them having to go fight in that like indoor arena that's all like
Oh yeah.
acid, bubbling acid over the two.
Yeah.
They had to fight on those like two tongues.
Yeah. Even if a drop of it gets on your skin, you will die.
Yeah, there's a couple funny things with that too, right? Where it's like you know, the next episode we'll talk about, but it's like they're like he says something, right? Where he's like even the fumes will
Oh
kill
yeah.
you. And then Goku does that thing where he gets like really, really close to the stuff and dissolves the ropes, and he's fine.
Oh yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah. The other funny thing that happened in the end of this episode was like Baba lets Goku like eat all that food, and it's kind of
Oh
like
yeah.
this weird
Yes.
like he thought maybe like something was going on with it.
Right. But nope. Just eating all that food.
Yeah. I think she was trying to test his reflexes.
I think it's because Baba knew what was going to happen.
I don't think she does though. Well, she should, right? Because that's the whole thing, but
Right.
also like she doesn't.
She doesn't act like it, but I think that's just like cartoon child writing. But I
Yeah,
think
that's probably
you
true.
look when you look back at it, I think she's intentionally acting that way because of what later comes about.
Well, she definitely wants Goku to be one of her fighters for sure.
Mm,
I don't know why. It seems like everybody who has come and taken the option to fight in the arena has like been
like really
beat up
weird.
very, very badly, you know.
Yeah.
Because remember when they get there, like all those dudes are out front,
Yeah.
like, all these big dudes, and they go in, they all come out like crutches, and
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Yeah.
like I don't think you need to add Goku. I think the normal people that are going there that try to
Right.
not pay you are doing just
We're
fine,
doing
you know.
just fine.
Okay, so episode 72 is called Goku's Turn.
Yep.
Yeah. The Japanese title is Meet Son Goku, the Demon's Toilet. So
Oh no.
they kept calling this arena the Demon's Toilet. And you're like,
Yeah.
that's got to be a weird like translation thing, right?
Yeah.
And then if you notice like underneath like this the window where they're all watching, like underneath that is this giant like stone carved like toilet paper roll. Did you see that?
Oh wow. It's
That's
uh
what,
I don't know if I remember that. No.
yeah. So you have like the two tongues, and
Yeah.
then like you have that back wall. It's like this giant roll on the wall, like carved like toilet paper holder. And then above that is like the viewing
That's
window.
funny.
And that's really funny. So I was like, nope, that's legitimately like what they called it in Japan. Like that's
Yeah.
just what the name of it was.
Just what it was.
Yeah. So sticking with the Hollywood movie monsters. Yamcha has to fight the mummy.
Yep. Mama.
Mummy. Uh, it was pretty brutal too. Remember when he like the mummy
Yeah.
like crush Yamcha like his spine in half when he's got him like
Yes.
above. He's like, "Ugh," like
Oh.
bending him,
Yeah.
and Yamcha's like, I can't surrender. I'll never
I
surrender.
can't. Yeah. I do remember that. Yeah.
So this is when Poir steps in. She turns into a woodpecker and like pecks the mummy's eye until he drops Yamcha.
Oh, wow. Yes. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, so Poir steps in and basically like it's fine somehow, even though they're told like they can't like step in and help.
Right, right.
Um, because even after this next episode when Goku fights the mummy, there's
Yeah.
that part where like um Upa like pulls his like giant axe out of his like
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
and he's like, oh. And I forget who it was. I think it was Roshi. Roshi's like, oh, we can't get involved in this. It has to be. It's like,
Oh,
but
yeah.
Poir like just did.
Not the same.
No, it's totally fine. Oh, you know what else was really funny? So you know how like Goku's always kind of like the idiot and Krillin's always the one that's like embarrassed by him.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I thought it was really funny, like in this first episode where Goku brings Upa back and they meet him for the first time.
Okay.
Krillin
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, "Oh, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Very beautiful." And then Goku's like, "Upa, you're a boy, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." Krillin was like, I was like, what is he talking about? Like Upa's clearly like this little boy. He's got his like vest is like his whole chest
Right.
is out. Like he's wearing a vest and his whole chest is out.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
like what a
yeah.
weird thing that is. That
Well,
was
they like to
odd.
do weird things.
Yeah. I mean, it was funny, but it was just like that's kind of weird. So this episode ends with the mummy throwing Yamcha off the thing, and Goku saves him with his power pole.
Oh, yes. Okay. And
Remember,
he's
he
like
gets him by the
falling. Yeah.
belt. Yeah.
Yep. Just in time. Pum, 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 pum.
Yeah. Yeah. So then Goku decides to fight and next. I like that though. I thought that was cool that like they're fighting this tournament thing, and it was like, you could just send Goku in and just have him like win every battle. But like
Yeah, yeah.
for everybody else wanting to fight and just letting Goku go in and fight like after, I thought that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Don't overuse your like, you know, your big guns at first.
Yeah.
And that was pretty cool. All right, so 73. It's called the Devil Might Beam. So Goku beats the mummy. I like how all these episodes are called like the thing that is clearly like the next thing that happens. It's like it's usually the
Yeah.
thing that happens right at the end of the episode.
Yeah. Dodan Ray. No, that's
It's,
not what they're called, but yeah.
it's pretty close to the done. Yeah, it's like the name of the thing is like the thing that happens at the very end. So like the next one is like the mysterious fifth man, and it's like you don't even see him until the very end of the episode.
True. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep, so let's see. So Goku beats the mummy guy. Then he beats that blue dude, the spiky blue dude, who uses the devil might beam thing. I thought that was a pretty funny attack, right? Where it's
Yep.
supposed to like make like every like negative thing in you like come out.
Yeah,
And
like it
Goku was
was an
just like,
interesting.
Oh, if you even have an ounce of
Yeah.
anger or hatred in you.
They're like, that's so strange. How could he not have any negative thoughts?
He doesn't have a lot of thoughts in general.
It was just really funny. Yeah.
He tries to use it on him twice, and I mean, it's the same stock footage that they just reuse because, like, why wouldn't you? But every time he does it, he's just glowing red, and Goku's like, "Oh, ooh." This is like,
Oh wow. Yeah.
so that was
But the
pretty
thing that
good.
surprised me with that was when so it happens and he's like, okay, he's like, and then he's like, oh, then it goes away. Like this like puffy kind of stuff goes away and he's standing
Mhm.
there and they're all like, what? Right. And then he's like, I'll just do it again. And
Yeah,
that made me laugh.
yeah, right. Because he's never had that ever happen
He was
before.
like, that's straight, I'll just do it again. And he was just like, wow.
It's funny that I called him the spiky dude, but his name is literally Spike, is what his name was.
Well,
And it's funny, you don't even know that until you reread like these things. Because like I don't remember him saying his name was Spike.
she probably says it once, yeah.
Yeah. The other thing that we didn't talk about is it's funny, right, too, that you find out that like Baba is like Roshi's older sister. This arc is he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, she's pretty crafty. She's my sister. So it's like, isn't that funny? Like the more you get to know Roshi, he has like all this stuff that he just like doesn't talk about. Like he never told Goku about like the Korin's Tower. He never, all this stuff.
Yeah.
Didn't know what Dragon Balls were. No idea what Dragon Balls were.
Yeah. He's
But
like,
like his sister is Baba, and it's this whole thing.
yeah. It's an interesting way to go in general.
Yeah, yeah, pretty funny. So this is a good example. So episode 74 is called The Mysterious Fifth Man. And the last episode was The Devil Might Be Him. So this episode opens with him using that for the first time. Like, this is the first time you've seen him use it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so Goku has to fight Spike. I think they do like actual like hand-to-hand combat after that, right? Or he's got that like trident thing that he's trying to stab him with.
Think so. Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah. Then he kicks him into the wall. Yeah. Yeah, he gives him a super strong kick into the wall.
Yeah.
Pretty good. And then the guy with the mask comes out. He's the last dude.
Yeah. You see him. Well, you see him a couple times. Remember, they show him
Yeah.
like background a couple times.
Yeah, and he wants to fight outside,
Yes.
which is
Yes.
cool. So did you recognize um like anything about that guy? Have you seen like the halos before that you remember in the show?
Not in the show, no.
Okay. Have you've seen like Goku Super Saiyan 3 with like long hair like down his back.
Oh, yes, yes.
Well, he usually always has a halo if you've
I see.
seen
Okay.
artwork. So I just didn't know if you've noticed because you it is one of those things you see a lot in Dragon Ball.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I just didn't know if you knew anything about it or not.
Not really, no. It was kind of the first time I'd ever heard about it.
Hmm. Well, that is cool then. So did you have an idea of who this guy was?
I thought it was Roshi's brother at first.
Jackie Chan.
I don't know. I just thought that that's like it was gonna be this big reveal that like he was because Baba was his sister and then that was his brother.
Yeah.
And I assumed because of the Halo thing, I was like his brother is gonna be dead or something. So that's why Roshi was like, "There's no way it's not," as it like was going on in the fight. I thought he
Yeah.
was just gonna be like, "No, it can't be him." But then he did something or he said something, and I was like, "Oh, this is his grandfather."
Well, they keep playing it up so much where it's like, I know this guy from somewhere. Where do I know this guy from?
Yeah, like when Roshi started to do that, I was kind of, but it was something he said. Gohan was like fighting him, and he was like, he said something to him, and he said something to himself about Goku, and I was like, it sounds like he's more like he's known Goku for a while, and he's like specifically familiar with Goku, and I was like,
Mhm.
oh, okay, I know who this is.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. Um, yeah, so where is this episode here? 75, the strong ones. So this is the one where Goku and Gohan fight each other basically the whole episode.
Yeah, it starts with them like locked
Yeah.
in, and then they fight, and then I think that is this is the episode where like the Gohan goes up in the air and then he comes back down and Goku like takes it in the chest,
Mm-hmm. The
which
kick,
was kind of
yeah.
that was kind of a cool thing. Like I hadn't
Yeah,
seen
it's
that
pretty cool.
one before.
Goku's like skydiving Kamehameha wave was pretty sweet too.
Oh yeah, yep, that was cool.
I love that when it's like, Gohan uses the Kamehameha and everyone's like, how does he know the thing? And then Goku's just in the air, like coming down, and he's just like, I can do that too.
I can't
That was
hear
pretty
you,
fun.
son. Speak up. I thought he was gonna do something to him, but no, he was literally couldn't hear what he was saying.
Oh my God. Yeah, that was so funny. That's right. Like, what did you say? What's that last part? I didn't catch that last part. What'd he say? Ah.
Yeah,
Oh my God. That
yeah,
was pretty good. Oh boy. Yeah, so then he's like knocked on the ground, and if you think it's over, then he grabs his tail.
yeah.
So now you're like, oh, he knows Goku pretty.
Now he knows.
Yeah. Yeah, so then at the very end of this episode, Roshi kind of reveals to everybody that like, oh, that's Goku's deceased grandfather.
Yep,
And Bulma's like very freaked out to hear that he's like
right.
deceased, even though they just saw like a mummy and all this
Yeah, like
stuff.
all these crazy things. Yeah.
Invisible guy and a mummy. And now she's like, well, that's crazy. Like, yeah, yeah, Bulma. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty funny to have it be like, oh, that's his grandfather. And they're all
Oh
like,
my God.
what?
Yeah, pretty stupid. All right, so then last one here, episode 76, The True Colors of the Masked Man. So you can kind of see why I wanted to cover 76 too, because it's kind of this nice kind of wrap up on this section. Like I would have
Yeah.
hated to come back next month and like watch this and then have that be it.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Have it be like, well, I don't know if it really is his grandpa or not, because like this episode it's very much like the end of this
Gotcha.
Baba arc, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was pretty interesting. It was
Yeah,
definitely my favorite episode in the stretch.
yeah. It'll be your favorite episode of the season. Well, no, that's probably not true. I like how Gohan just keeps like slamming Goku into
Just over
the
and over
over
and over again. Just
until
constantly.
his until his tail like physically like pulls off.
Like snaps, yeah. But it was
Yeah.
pretty funny to see Pilaf
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, your buddies. Yeah, now they got it's just so fun. It's like where do they have the money and where do they have like the tech to like just keep coming up with this stuff?
It's that, and also the fact that like I understand maybe Shu and I can't think of the girl's name, but
My
my like I get that they're just like they have to do what he's telling them to do, but it always makes me laugh that
not
Pilaf
really.
is always like he forgets that like last time this was happening it went really poorly.
Yeah. He's the road runner. No, he's the
He's a wild
coyote.
wildy
Yeah.
coyote, yeah.
And the Dragon Balls are the road runner. I mean, that's just his lot in life, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you'll see what happens to him, but it's pretty, it's pretty good. So he's testing out his giant like power armor.
Yeah.
It's just funny too, because like he has no idea that like the Red Ribbon Army guy also had one of those giant
Yeah.
mechs, and that didn't do anything. Oh, these are like reinforced with like titanium, so they are stronger, but
True.
it's just really funny. And also now they can like spy on everybody like through their remote viewing thing.
Yeah.
And they like zoom in and they're like, oh, looks like Goku's weakness is his tail.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
But then they don't continue to watch it to see that Goku's tail gets removed.
No.
So that's their big plan. Uh yeah. Do. So then his tail gets removed.
Yeah, and then basically like immediately
And then he gives up,
Goku
right? Yeah.
gives up, yeah. Yeah, and that was a
Yeah.
pretty
It's
emotional
a pretty cool.
scene
Yeah.
when him and his he kind of reunites. Like honestly, I think this is the first time we see Goku cry.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And it also added this really interesting thing that I didn't consider, which was um, now when if Goku gets all the Dragon Balls, like, is he going to bring uh what's his name? I'm gonna blank on his name, but not Baka, but
Hmm. Bora, yeah.
Bora. Is he gonna bring Bora back or is he gonna bring his grandfather back type of thing? Now I know his grandfather was like, I'm fine, don't worry about me, but still, like it was a thing I hadn't considered.
Hmm. I'm it's nice having, so in the show you never get to see like Goku's grandpa.
Mm,
Because the show just starts off with it being like, oh yeah, my grandpa's dead and now I'm just like on my own type of thing.
yeah.
So getting to see him and having kind of like some resolution is nice.
Mm, I see,
And
gotcha.
also getting to know that like he's very happy where he is. He's not like, sad about
Right,
it
right,
is kind of nice too.
right. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that this wish to the dragon was a little different too, and it's not bad, but it's just I was expecting something else,
Mm,
but we'll get to it.
I don't know anything about it.
No. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. It was pretty cool getting to see Gohan.
Yeah,
It's always funny too because it's like Roshi and Goku like didn't recognize him, but I guarantee he was wearing the same clothes that he always wore when he was alive.
yeah.
Like nobody else wears that vest.
True. Not making
Uh,
fun of anybody who drew that, but it looked like he was real excited about SpaghettiOs.
he loves spaghetti. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Yeah, so I think that's a pretty good conclusion there.
Well, the thing that I enjoyed besides the obvious was, and it really made me laugh, and maybe it'll make you laugh too, is I thought it was really cool that they like when Bulma was explaining to Gohan all the stuff,
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
and it just went back and like showed everybody.
that was cool. Yeah, no, that was cool. It was cool seeing like a recap so far of their adventures.
Yeah, and it's like they showed like all of the like all the people. They showed everything, and then they showed when they got to Muscle Tower, they showed
Hmm.
like all of the people in Muscle Tower, which
Yeah,
was
yeah,
really
yeah, yeah.
cool.
And she
And
also kind of tells like, he makes friends, even
yeah,
though it's not like easy at first. Like, and they shows like specifically like Yamcha, because remember, like Yamcha was like a desert bandit that was trying to
yeah,
like
yeah,
kill him.
exactly. Yeah, I really liked all that. And like they showed Mercenary Tao and
Oh yeah,
the big robot guy from Muscle Tower and all that stuff. But the
Terminator.
thing that made me laugh was that they didn't show uh what's his name, like Colonel Silver or something. Like
Oh
there was
yeah,
and I laughed because I was like, nah,
no, yeah, they know.
really
No, I don't
funny.
think they even showed the other guy either. What was his name? White, Silver, White, and
They showed White. They showed him.
in the Muscle Tower. But yeah, what's the other guy's name that we talked about forever that like came back and Tao just like killed instantly?
Oh, they
Blue?
showed Blue. They showed
Did
Blue.
they
He
show
was.
him? Okay.
Yep, yep.
What I thought you were gonna say in that scene that was very funny is very like on par, right? Where it's Bulma is like telling Goku all about like how great she is. Like
Oh,
because of
oh,
her, this is all happening because of her.
right, right,
That was funny. Like, she says, like, even when I first met him, I knew he was
right.
special. I was like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. You tried to trick him and steal his Dragon Ball.
Yep.
He like beat like threw you out of your car, like beat your car up.
Well,
Oh
sometimes you
man.
remember things differently.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's pretty true. The funny thing that I enjoyed too was that part where, Gohan's like, "Oh, Master Roshi, it's nice to see you again." And they're talking a little bit, and he goes, "Hey, does Goku still turn into like a giant ape monster when the full moon?"
Oh yeah, yes.
Because that's like how Gohan died.
Yeah,
And Master Roshi's like, "Oh yeah, you don't have to worry about that. Ever since I like blew up the moon or destroyed the moon, or it's
something
like,
like that.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, I literally forgot that happened."
Yeah, that's right.
So I don't remember if like the moon. I know
Yeah,
he shoots it during the tournament, but you can't just destroy the moon, man.
feel like they just do what they want.
Yeah, they do. Won't be the first time they blow up the moon, I don't think. Uh, yeah, so I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
I don't
pretty
remember
much. Yeah.
anything else like funny quotes or anything.
Hmm. Not overly, no.
Mm, mm, mm,
Most of it was
mm.
just the fighting, so like there wasn't
Mm.
a lot of like super big character development. Most of it was just fighting.
It was nice like getting back into like a little bit like a little mini tournament too.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, the thing we didn't cover was them going to, I forget why they go there initially, but they go there and Gohan or Goku gets new clothes. He initially goes to get new clothes, and then the tailor like makes like patches up his old clothes, or he remakes them or something.
Oh, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. That's when they first go, and he's waiting for his clothes to get made, and he goes and gets Upa.
Yeah.
Thought that was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, actually, it was a thing that was like I don't know if the people making the show intended it for it to be like this, but I really thought about it like this is when they go into the thing and he's like, "Oh," and the guy's like, "Oh, would you like this on the back? Like what's on the back to stay?" And he's like, "Yes, and on the front." And then
Mm-hmm.
they go to like leave and then Yamcha goes to the tailor guy and he's like, "Hey, if I give you extra whatever, however much money, like, can you get this ready done today or something like that, done in an hour or something?" And he's like, "Oh, yes. Oh, great." And I was just thinking it's the reverse of what
Mm-hmm.
Tao did,
Tao, yeah.
Yeah. Just was a nice like good guy, bad guy like reverse type of thing. I enjoyed that actually.
Yeah. I like that from the story point, like consistently that um I think when they first get here, yeah, it's fine. I guess we didn't really talk about any of this stuff. Like I kind of just skimmed through that first episode was like, oh, they get to Baba's, but like there's a whole bunch in the beginning that happens. The
Yeah, yeah.
like when Goku like jumps down off the thing and
Oh
his
yeah.
pants like rip open.
Rip open,
It's
yeah.
just this cool thing that like he has this, this one is gone from the Dodon Ray.
Dodan
Like
Ray.
this patch is gone, and then he's got this
Yeah.
big tear in it.
Yeah.
I know it's just like consistent, like it's pretty good. Like, yeah, you know, he's been through a lot in that uniform.
Right.
So pretty good. Pretty cool that like
It was cool. No, I liked all of it, yeah.
yeah. And I'm it's cool that he goes and gets Upa. Thought that was cool.
Yeah, Rupa's like, I've never been away from home and all this
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, it was cool. Then they get there, they have to like dodge all those like lightning
Yeah.
tornadoes and stuff.
I
Yeah.
know. And everybody else just kind of like drove in.
Yeah.
Like those people leave, like those rich people like leave. And like, oh, never would have thought the key was behind the cabinet.
Oh wow, yes.
Now she'll be able to afford her. Now we'll be able to still throw the big party.
I
It's like
forgot
this
about
whole
that.
stupid
I forgot about that.
thing. Yeah. Yeah, they had to go through like 7 tornadoes and lightning
Yeah, yeah,
storms.
yeah.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Bam, 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 bam,
Yeah.
da, 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 da.
So yeah, we'll see here. It's funny. Goku gets a new uniform here in the next couple episodes that you'll really
Oh,
enjoy.
cool.
It's one of your favorite things in the show.
Mm.
Goku being
Okay.
naked.
No, not naked.
Yeah,
It's
it's pretty
not
good.
naked. It's not naked.
It's the whole episode. He's naked. You'll love it.
Oh, no, I won't. I won't love it. I refuse to love it.
You'll love it. So yeah. So that is it. So next month, where does this ends with him seeing the car. Baba
Yeah.
shows him the car and like she's like, well, Dragon Ball's in that. Did they
Yeah.
talk did Pilaf talk about in this episode too where he's like, yeah, so this new like lunchbox thing I invented, it
Yes.
can
Yes.
hide the signal.
But he can't call it a lunchbox. He has to call it something else. Yeah.
Well, why would he call it a lunchbox anyway? He's like, well, that name's already taken. It's like, well, why would you call it a lunchbox if it's dampening the Dragon Ball
I don't know
signal?
because he's peel off. He also like chokes but doesn't choke on an eaten apple by a squirrel. And he's just like, delicious.
Yeah. Yeah. So next time, Goku is gonna go find the Dragon Ball, the last Dragon Ball.
Yep.
Uh, it's funny. We get to run into Pilaf again. That's fun. That's always fun getting to see
Yeah, I
what
didn't think that was gonna happen, but that was
him
cool.
and his cronies are up to, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know, it was interesting. Yeah. I was interested. I was really surprised to actually see Pilaf come back again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like whenever they need like it's a funny recurring thing because it's like, he's also
True.
always going to be looking for the Dragon Balls.
True, true, true. Yeah.
So so they're gonna keep running into each other. And now that the red ribbon's gone, it's like
Yeah, true.
now Pilaf is technically like a threat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, so we pick up at Pilaf's tactics, and then I don't know
mhm.
what the title of 83 is, but that's where we go to next time.
Right, right. So I'm gonna say not to. I'm gonna say we're going to 82
82. Okay.
because 83. The first thing in 83 says that 3 years have passed. So
I, s- I see.
it's a
Okay.
big jump. So yeah, so 82 will be the
Okay.
last one. Yeah, so that will do it. So 82 will be our last episode, and then we start the Tien Shinhan saga.
Yeah,
That'll be sweet. Finally getting to see
that'll be
Tien.
good.
Tien's a pretty cool character that I forgot it takes this long to get to see him.
True.
So that will be fun.
Yeah, and then the only thing I thought about that you covered a little bit in your last video, but like we didn't cover in person.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah, I did kind of it literally happened like right after like we
yeah,
recorded our last episode like 2 days after that
yeah,
Akira
yeah,
Toriyama died. And it
yeah,
was just like, oh man.
yeah.
And like we didn't
Like it would
talk
have
about
been
it.
like obviously it would have been bad like regardless because like he's like the Stan Lee of the like anime
Yeah.
world, but or I should say the manga world, I guess, right?
Hmm.
Um, but like now that we're like covering it and we're almost halfway through like his original show,
Yeah.
it just felt a little harder and felt a little more like sad.
Yeah. Yeah, and these are like his original like drawings and character
Right,
designs and everything,
exactly.
So it's just like, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
bummer, man.
It'd be like us covering like the old 60s cartoons of like the Marvel heroes, and they'd be like, oh, and Stanley's dead. He'd be like, oh, great, great.
Yeah.
Where he's like voicing every single episode type of thing. Yeah. So,
It's crazy too because you see like how much he brought, like everything is kind of based on his, well, not everything, you know what I mean? But like there's a
yeah,
lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
stuff that's like very much like, yeah, he's the creator of this. He kind of
Right.
revolutionized
Right.
stuff.
Like he's the guy. Right. Yeah.
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 Yeah, even I just saw that the guys that doing the Kong Godzilla thing. I mean,
Oh,
you told me that joke a while ago that everybody's calling that new like red energy Godzilla, like
oh, yeah.
Godzilla Rose after like
Yeah.
after like
Yeah. Yeah.
Goku Rose. And
Yeah.
like the director or somebody involved like literally just came out the other day and he was like, "Oh yeah, that's a total nod to like Goku's
Wow.
oh frick, what is it called? His
Like super.
Kaioken.
Oh, oh,
So Goku has this ability that he learns later on. The Kaioken, it's like he can double his energy, like physical energy. And he
gotcha.
gets like
Gotcha.
this red, like glow, like radiation around him.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So,
That's funny.
and so that's really cool, like that inspired that. And yeah, it's just been kind of a bummer, you know,
Yeah.
seen a lot of like people doing like murals and stuff of like him and characters, and it's just like you said, you can always tell when you see a picture of something, you can always tell that that's an Akira Toriyama like character.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. True.
yeah. And it's cool too. I mean, he was always like super humble. Like he didn't think he was like a good artist. He didn't think he, So
Yeah,
it
I
was
read a lot
just
of his quotes after he died. I was reading like a
yeah,
lot of how he felt about stuff, and I was like, well, this guy really didn't think he was that. Like he
no,
was very humble, I should say,
yeah,
because
yeah,
obviously he knew that like he could draw it, but he just didn't. He was very humble.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. And the other pictures I've seen too are like the the other two artists that died recently too. I think it was last year. The guy who
Oh,
drew wow, Yu-Gi-Oh!
oh wow. Oh,
And what's the other one? It's the one where the guy has like that
oh,
giant like sword. Man, I
no,
can't remember what it's called.
not Final Fantasy.
I don't think it's Final Fantasy. What's the it's not Cloud. It's not Cloud. Well, hmm.
Giant sword. I don't know. Maybe it was the alchemist thing. There is it that.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I feel bad because I don't remember. I didn't watch it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sadly,
I don't
anime
remember.
is not my strong
Mm-mm.
is my strong suit.
Yeah, so I love anime stuff. I just don't always know like the artists and guys that like
Sure,
did them, you know.
sure.
And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have like a
yeah.
very specific set of stuff that I enjoy.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff that like comes out that I it's like like I don't know. I'm pretty intimidated by stuff. It's like so like going through and watching like One Piece
Mm,
because everyone's like, "Oh, One Piece is so good, you gotta watch it." And it's like you see the artwork and stuff from like the current seasons, and it is like
yeah.
so drastically like crazy and like different
Oh.
because there's like 20 seasons
Oh,
and every
oh, oh.
season is like 40 episodes.
Wow.
So by the time you get to like season 19, it's like these characters are like completely different. It's like not this like,
Wow.
you know,
Hmm.
right in the couple seasons that I'm watching now, it's like this simplistic like art style. It's good, but it's simplistic.
Yeah.
And then later on, it gets all crazy cell shading and anime and
Wow, wow.
big
Okay.
flowy stuff, and it's good, but it's just so intimidating. It's like, yeah, you got
Yeah.
to watch this, and it's like, dude, there's like 800 episodes, like, and they're like an hour long. It's like I don't have the time
Wow,
for that.
wow, wow. Wow.
Yeah, so that's why I like Dragon Ball because it's 20 minutes after
Yeah.
the 10-minute intro and recap and then the
Yeah.
5-minute outro. It's
I think there's legitimately like 19, 20 minutes of an episode. Like it's yeah.
not even, yeah, I know, it's crazy. So they're bite sized, you can kind of get through them.
That's right.
So yeah, yeah, I know that happened. That was crazy.
It was.
But, you know, his influence is still seen and felt and
Yeah,
you know, he still
absolutely.
kind of lives on.
Yep,
So, it's cool.
absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it for this episode. So we will be back in May. See you in May.
Yeah, really. Yeah, I know.
It's gonna
Yeah,
be May.
it's gonna be Dragon Ball.
Yeah. So yeah. So that is it, everybody. We will catch you guys in next month for the next half of the Baba saga. All right.
That's right.